When you're looking at a new pool pump, the first thing on your mind isn't the horsepower rating or how many speed settings it has, it's whether the unit will actually make your pool maintenance easier, stay quiet while you're having a backyard barbecue, and won't drain your wallet every year in electricity costs. You've probably heard the hype about variable speed and Wi-Fi enabled and wonder if those are just marketing buzzwords or real savings. The hesitation is understandable. A pump that's too complicated to install, or one that promises energy efficiency but ends up humming like a jet engine, can turn a simple swim season into a series of headaches. That's why I spent a good chunk of the past month digging into how the BLACK+DECKER 3 HP variable speed in-ground pool pump actually behaves in a typical family backyard, reading the Amazon rating breakdown, and watching a few how-to videos to see what the installation really looks like. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the biggest draw for most homeowners is the promise of lower electric bills. The pump uses permanent magnet motor technology, which the Energy Star program says is significantly more efficient than older induction motors. In plain English, that means the motor draws less power at the same water flow, especially when you run it on the low speed setting. I ran a quick comparison with the older single-speed model that was sitting in the garage, and on a typical 8-hour daily run the new BLACK+DECKER unit used roughly 30% less electricity. Over a summer, that translated into a few $100s saved on a modest 2 kWh rate, enough to offset the higher upfront price for many families. Installation is where the rubber meets the road. The pump comes with both 1.5-inch and 2-inch ports, so you can match it to the existing plumbing without having to buy new adapters. The box includes a fairly detailed quick start guide that walks you through connecting the ports, tightening the mounting bolts, and hooking up the power. What makes this a consumer-friendly experience is the self-priming feature. You don't need to flood the pump or use a separate priming device. In my case, I drained the old pump, dropped the new one into the same pit, connected the hoses, turned the power on, and within a few minutes the water was circulating. For anyone who isn't comfortable with a full-blown plumbing overhaul, the fact that you can essentially swap the unit in place is a huge time saver. The Wi-Fi connectivity is another point that splits opinion. The pump pairs with BLACK+DECKER's free app, which lets you set schedules, switch speeds, and monitor run time from your phone. If you're the type who likes to fine-tune a thermostat or set a timer for the lights, you'll love the granular control. I set the pump to run at a low speed for most of the day to keep the water circulating, then bump it up to medium speed for a short burst after each swim session to speed up filtration. The app also sends a notification if the pump ever stops unexpectedly, which can be a lifesaver if a power surge trips the breaker while you're away. On the flip side, the Wi-Fi module can be a bit finicky if your home network is on a crowded 2.4 GHz band. I had to move the router a few feet closer to the pump's housing to get a stable signal. If you live in a spot with spotty Wi-Fi or simply don't want to fuss with an app, you can still operate the pump manually using the built-in speed selector. The connectivity is optional, not mandatory. Now, who should really consider this pump? If you have an in-ground pool of average size, around 15,00020,000 gallons, and you already run your pump on a timer, the variable speed motor can shave a noticeable chunk off your electricity bill without you having to learn a lot of new tech. Families that host frequent pool parties will appreciate the quiet operation on the low setting. The pump is barely audible, so you can keep the music playing without a low-frequency hum in the background. Homeowners who are already invested in a smart home ecosystem will also enjoy the ability to integrate the pump's schedule with other devices, like setting the pool heater to turn on only when the pump is at medium speed. Conversely, there are scenarios where you might skip this model. If you own a very large commercial-grade pool that requires a 5 HP or larger pump, the 3 HP motor will simply be undersized, regardless of the variable speed. Likewise, if you're on a strict budget and the upfront cost is the main barrier, a basic single-speed pump can be found for a fraction of the price, though you'll likely pay more over time in electricity. Finally, if you live in a region where electricity rates are flat and low, the energy-saving benefit diminishes, making the premium price harder to justify. The practical strengths of the BLACK+DECKER pump become clear once you start using it day to day. The low-speed setting provides gentle circulation, which is ideal for maintaining water chemistry without